So Neil, you got your first win. How do you feel?
Really pleased, obviously, to get a win under your belt as quickly as possible, especially at home. It's needed, and we've done that. And I think all in all, it's been a good week for us. 4 points from 2 games. You know, that was the aim last season, and it's the aim this season. If you can maintain that throughout the season, you'll be up there challenging. Really pleased to win. Some real good football played in both halves, and some real awful football played at times in the second half when we're trying to close the game out. You know, we just talked about it again, about game management in certain situations, especially when we're winning 3-2. They're chasing the game. Conditions are not in our favour and in their favour, and we're doing the best we can to give them an equaliser. So, you know, I haven't really learnt from Tuesday night, which annoys me. But on the whole, I think we perhaps just about shaded it and deserved the victory. I thought some of the football first half and chances we're creating, you know, we've got to be a little bit more ruthless, because for me that game should have been over at half time.
Yeah.
Chances creating, and against the conditions, with the wind against, the chances we've created second half, you know, we've done better against the conditions than they did, for sure. Even though they scored, we've had far more chances than them second half, and the game really should have been over at half time. The fact that we've created even more chances second half, we've got to gain a ruthless streak pretty quickly.
That's sort of 2 games in a row where you've created a lot of chances. Maybe you haven't got the goals you deserved. Yeah. Do you just hope that if you keep doing that game after game, that the goals will start to come? Well,
I think we've got that in the team, in terms of we're going to create opportunities. You know, we've got pace, we've got power, you know, in height and physicality, so we'll always create chances from that, from set pieces, but also from open play with the wide players we've got. And I think that will come. I think that putting teams to bed and that ruthlessness will come as we gel and as the players get to know each other a little bit better. But it needs to, because as we've witnessed today, you know, Frickley, and then the other night against Barwell, any team can beat anybody in this division. There's no top 2, top 3 that win every week against bottom 2, bottom 3. Teams pick up, you know, results against each other throughout the season. Today, no different. Just looked at the results now. There's some indifferent results that you wouldn't have probably said would go that way at the start of the game, and Barwell have gone up to Workington and won 1-0. So, you know, you look at results like that and anybody can beat anybody. So we've got to get our own house in order pretty quickly, which, you know, we have done, we've won, but we can win better and be a lot more ruthless and put teams to bed a lot quicker.
I suppose it's better to be creating chances and not scoring than not creating
Definitely, I'd be really worried if, you know, we played the last 2 games we played that, you know, we'd only had a couple of chances in both games and we hadn't taken those, and, you know, we hadn't picked up a result. We have, you know, and we are creating lots of opportunities, which is good. It's just at this level, the standard of opposition is better week in, week out.
Jake Jones came in for Chris Taylor today. Obviously got the opening goal. If he can have a full season without any injuries, do you think he'd be a really good player?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. He did well for his 65, 70 minutes. You know, he's blown a bit towards the end, but took his goal well, contributed, put some decent balls in the box. I thought both wide players played well today, and Isaac, you know, in open play, created some good opportunities for Pezza and George. I think set piece wise, both of them could have done better, Jake and Isaac, from corners and set pieces, missing the first man, but that will come. But pleased with Jake, pleased with all their contributions. I thought every one of them again has played really well, especially second half in the conditions. It's difficult against that wind, and, you know, Tolly and Miles there, and the back four and Adam really have done well to keep them out as much as they can.
Obviously disappointed to concede on the stroke of half time, but I suppose at least compared to Tuesday night you had a whole other half to try and put it right.
Yeah, and the goal was disappointing because we should have won the first header. We didn't, and then as the ball goes out wide, we didn't go and press quickly enough to stop the cross coming in our box. And that's another thing we talked about from Tuesday night. Far too easy, Barwell and today, crosses going into our box, which is where their goal come from. You know, we've got to make it a little bit more difficult for the opposition to put ball into the box. Took their goal well, but again, that's the level. You're playing against good opposition, so you've got to limit the amount of opportunities they get. We didn't. They score, but I think we've shown great spirit against the conditions to go on and win the game second half.
And plenty of chance for both sides in the second half. What do you think? Kyle Perry won the penalty and then basically scored the second goal, whether it was
Yeah,
deflected in or
I think it go down as an own goal. But yeah, I think his contribution was really good. But you can see with Kyle, we're going to try and get him a little bit fitter and a little bit more mobile by working him in training. But I think you can see already in the 2 games what he brings. You know, his presence up there, holding defenders off. But he gets hold of the ball, and you know, especially holding it in the corners when you're playing into him. Just that 3 or 4 seconds of holding on to the ball, it gives you such an opportunity to get the players up the pitch and around him, and your back 4 up the pitch, takes the pressure off. And that's something we've been missing for a couple of seasons, really. You know, I know Dykes can do that, and he did it last year. But at this level, you need an experienced number 9 that knows when to hold on to it, when to play players in, and to hold players off. And Kyle does that. He's experienced.
Can you see starts of a partnership between him and George Broome?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah. I mean, some of George's runs from the channels, you know, and I don't really want him to play wide. We want him to play down the middle. But some of his runs from the channels, especially from the left side, it looks really dangerous. Cuts inside, you know, and if we get some end product from him, I can see him scoring quite a few goals from that left-hand channel. But we want him closer to Perry, really, to Kyle. And I think it's just going to take a little bit of time for him to read some of the flicks that Kyle's got. You know, we're trying to get Kyle to flick inside. So, and it's just that these last couple of games, it just those flicks haven't quite come off. You know, and I think that will come in time.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.